Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving into a concept that feels really fundamental, but maybe gets overlooked sometimes: personal development.
Right. And specifically, we're zeroing in on what this source calls the absolute non-negotiable starting point.
Which is self-reflection. Yes.
Exactly. Our source today is the Self-Reflection Handbook for Personal Growth.
And our mission really is to cut through the noise, pull out the core ideas from this handbook, give you a shortcut sort of to why intentional growth matters so much.
And why looking inward, like really looking inward, isn't just a nice to have, it's step one. The only place to begin, according to this handbook.
So let's start there. Why is personal development even highlighted as, crucial?
Well, the handbook kicks off by saying, look, becoming the person you aim to be may be more disciplined or confident, focused, fulfilled, whatever it is for you, that doesn't just happen.
Right, it's not accidental. You don't just luck into it.
No, it takes actual intention.
Effort.
And it frames this against the reality that life doesn't wait. Challenges grow, expectations rise. So if you stay the same, you're effectively falling behind. That sounds a bit harsh maybe, but it's presented as just a clear observation of how things work.
Yeah. Staying stagnant isn't neutral, it's losing ground.
Mm-hmm. And personal development, this effort we're talking about, is framed as the work you need to do to break through your own limits.
Things like laziness, fear, insecurity, distraction, the stuff that holds us back.
Exactly. The handbook sees them as real barriers to your potential, things you actively need to work on.
Something that struck me was the connection to relationships. It's not just about self-improvement in a vacuum.
Oh, absolutely. The source makes a strong point that growing yourself helps you show up better for other people, as a leader, a partner, a friend.
Because understanding yourself helps you interact better.
That's the idea. There's this line in the source: broken people break people, whole people build people. Really puts a fine point on it.
Wow, yeah. That hits home.
It does. And a big piece of this, according to the handbook, is getting off what it calls autopilot.
Just reacting emotionally, living by default.
Yeah, exactly that. Moving from just reacting based on old habits or feelings to actually responding thoughtfully with, wisdom.
That makes sense, that autopilot idea.
Mm,
We've all had that moment, right? Looking back at something we did or said and just thinking, why on earth did I act like that?
totally. And the handbook says that flash of hindsight.
Yeah.
That's growth. But personal development aims to make that kind of awareness your daily mindset.
Not just something you realize weeks later.
Right. Being aware in the moment or much closer to it.
Okay, so this all leads to the main point. Self-reflection being the first most critical step, not just a step, but the prerequisite.
Yes. The handbook is very clear. You really can't start genuine, intentional growth without it.
So let's dig into why. The source lays out 4 key reasons. The first one is pretty direct. You can't fix what you won't face.
Mm-hmm. And it uses this great analogy. Imagine trying to get better at fighting, say boxing or martial arts, but refusing to watch the video footage of your previous fights.
Yeah, okay. You'd have no idea what you actually look like, what mistakes you're making.
Exactly. You wouldn't see your blind spots, your bad habits, how you react under pressure. The handbook argues living without self-reflection is just like that.
You're just guessing in the dark.
Pretty much. Reacting based on patterns you've never even stopped to look at. You can't correct your course if you don't know where you are or where you went wrong.
So you're basically stuck repeating the same stuff because you haven't even identified it.
That's the core idea.
Yeah.
The source even rephrases it. Reflection is your mental film study. No tape, no progress, no self-review, no self-improvement. Simple as that.
Okay, that film study analogy makes it really clear. What's the second reason?
The second reason builds on this. Reflection turns the lights on.
Turns the lights on, meaning.
Meaning, before reflection, the handbook suggests people can be kind of emotionally blind to why they do what they do. We make excuses, right?
Oh yeah, like I just have a short fuse, that's how I am. Or I'm not lazy, I'm just not in the mood.
Or calling quick, being realistic. The handbook says reflection cuts through all that. It helps you see the real reasons underneath the excuses.
So that short fuse might actually be rooted in insecurity.
Could be. Or procrastination might be fear of failure. Quitting might be a lack of discipline you haven't acknowledged. Reflection helps you see the actual thing behind the symptom.
I see. It removes the convenient stories we tell ourselves.
Exactly. The source draws this contrast. Without reflection, you're sort of a puppet, pulled by emotions and habits you don't understand. With reflection, you start to see the strings. You become the one pulling them.
Gaining awareness, but also control.
Yes, that's key. Control comes from awareness, which leads perfectly into the third reason.
Let me guess. It builds awareness.
You got it. It builds awareness, which is called the foundation of all change. Seems obvious, but it's crucial.
You can't change a habit you don't even notice you have.
Precisely. Or
Oh.
challenge a belief if you never stop to question it. Self-reflection is how you start noticing. It's how you catch yourself in the act.
Observing your thoughts, feelings, actions as they happen or right after.
Yeah. And it's not just vague be aware advice. The handbook gives concrete questions to ask yourself.
Like what?
Things like, what did I do today that I regret? Or what emotion is driving me most right now? Is it fear or is it focus?
Ooh, that's a good one. Fear or focus.
Right. Or another powerful one, what would the strongest version of me have done in that situation?
Wow. Okay, those aren't just navel-gazing questions. They're designed to make you really look at your choices.
Exactly. The handbook positions them as tools. Tools to interrupt those automatic unconscious patterns and start choosing how you want to respond intentionally.
Makes sense. Okay, what's the fourth reason reflection is so critical?
The fourth one is that it makes growth personal, not just motivational.
Ah, okay. Like you hear an inspiring speech or read a book, you feel fired up for a day.
And then it fades. Yeah. The handbook suggests that often happens because the motivations stayed general. It wasn't truly integrated into your specific life.
Because you didn't connect it to yourself through reflection.
That's the argument. Without reflection, that advice or inspiration doesn't really land because you haven't asked yourself, okay, how does this apply to me? Where am I falling short here? Where can I use this to level up?
So reflection acts like a mirror, showing you where that general lesson fits your specific situation.
Perfectly put. It takes a universal idea and makes it personally relevant and actionable for you.
It's like that coach analogy again. The coach isn't just talking about general game strategy. They're showing you the specific moments on your game film where you messed up or could improve.
Exactly. Reflection grounds the abstract in your reality. It turns motivation into a personal strategy.
So pulling all this together from the Self-Reflection Handbook for Personal Growth, the big takeaway is self-reflection isn't optional. It's not just one tool among many.
No, it's presented as the foundational step, the essential starting point for any real personal development. It's how you build awareness, face reality, and make growth truly yours.
You need that self-understanding first.
Absolutely. And the handbook leaves us with this really potent final thought to chew on.
Okay, what is it?
It says, self-reflection is the moment the game changes. Before that, it's all noise.
Yeah.
After that, it's strategy.
Wow. Noise versus strategy, that really crystallizes it. Before reflection, you're just reacting to everything, maybe trying things without direction.
It's unfocused effort, maybe. After reflection, you know what you're targeting. You have a plan.
That's powerful. And the final call to action from the source.
It's very direct. You can't build a better you until you understand the current version of you.
So step one is understanding who you are right now.
Exactly. The handbook finishes with, face it, study it, then outgrow it.
Face it, study it, then outgrow it. Simple, but profound. A clear path forward, starting with that honest look inward.
That's the message. Self-reflection first.